if you get the chance to go to Africa, particularly if you get the chance to live there for a while, it's just an amazing experience. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Ethiopia. I lived in a small village that had no electricity nor running water. I had a student that actually, a lot of students actually lived with some of the teachers because we had spare rooms and they came from villages that were far away. And so the student that lived at my house, he's now a doctor in Italy. I was there when he saw his first light bulb, and he just stared at the light. He couldn't believe the light bulb. And I was with him. I gave him his first spoonful of ice cream, and he put it in his mouth. He said, "It's cold." And I said, "Yeah, that's the whole point." So it's, electricity in Africa is a problematic thing. It can be problematic here in New York. I went for 2 weeks without electricity after Hurricane Sandy, so we have our electrical problems. But it's routine in Africa, and some places have no electricity at all. And so to bring electricity to Africa through solar panels and that kind of technology is just amazing. Africa is leapfrogging things. And I do it too. I've actually given up my home landline because I never used it, and I was paying bills that I didn't want to pay. So this is now my phone. A lot of Africa doesn't even have landlines anymore. I mean, they just leapfrog straight to cell phones. So I'm hoping that Africa will lead the way in sustainable energy sources and be able to provide electricity without using fossil fuels, and maybe teach the rest of us what we need to do and not be so dependent on fossil fuels. I want to tell you one miracle story. We actually have a small project in Ghana. And the principal at one of the schools that we're at, I went there and he was building these concrete blocks in a big square. And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "That's our computer lab." And I said, "Do you have any computers?" He said, "No." I said, "Do you have any electricity?" He said, "No." I said, "How are you going to have a computer lab?" "We're going to build the structure and the computers will come." I go, "Okay, fine." Absolutely impossible. Never going to work. 2 years later, I come back. There's the computer lab with the computers, students all clacking away at the computers. I'm going, "How did this happen?" He said, "Well, God provided." I go, "Okay, all right, thank you, but tell me how it really happened, And he said, "You have no idea how many forms I had to fill out with USAID. We got a grant from USAID. We got a line to come in for the electricity. And we have the only computer lab in our district, the entire district. It's the only computer lab." Because one person had that vision, which is what Christina's had. She took a bare piece of land and she created a miracle. And as I said, Africa is a place where miracles happen. I want to just pick out some little snippets that I heard during the talks. First of all, the need for quality of education. And I think the emphasis needs to be on quality because there's an awful lot of not so good education that goes on. And a lot of students come there hungry to learn and they're not learning, or they're not getting the quality education that they deserve. And so when an organization like Nwale, commits itself to really providing quality education, that's so important. I like the idea of having necessary life and job skills and justice. I heard, that's so important too. It's not just about learning facts. It's about learning how to live your life, what to do with your life, and also to stand up for yourself. The other thing I heard was about girl power, and they can say no. That's an important thing. I have trouble saying no sometimes. When you know enough and you're confident enough in yourself to say no, that's a huge hurdle because most of us tend to be accommodators and we tend to say yes to everything. And when you can really learn to say no, that's very powerful. I like the identify the notes of success and the analogy of music, where and once you have the notes, you can go classical or you can go jazz, but you need those notes for success. It's really, really great. So those are some of the things that I picked out of today's panel discussions. I think it's really great. I hope we are all inspired to create our own miracles, but also to support the miracles that are already taking place. And I love that I see that, as I said at the beginning, Africans here are sending their skills back to their home countries, and that there's that kind of connection. It's certainly what has helped Europe a lot, particularly after the Second World War. A lot of European Americans or Americans of European descent went back to rebuild Ireland and Great Britain and Germany and all of that. It's great to now see successful Africans who have made a success in this country take that success back to the mother continent. And of course, we all know we're all from Africa. It's where all of us come from. It really is the mother continent for all of us. And I'm deeply in love with it. I have spent most of my adult life actually in Africa. And it is a continent of miracles, and this is one of them. So let's have a round of applause for the miracle workers.
If Mrs. Silo will be kind enough to say thank you to the audience, we will really appreciate it.